Together with Earle Sports Bets, yeah, the twins, they be checking in, stacking up. Green is the scene that you're stepping in. Winning is a trend, and we stay making dollars. Nerd talk with the sports bet scholars. Yeah, it's R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies.
We are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. My name is Nicholas Earle. I'm joined here as always by my brother Tim, and today it is balanced, as Thanos would say. 9 games in the NBA, 9 games in the NHL, balanced as everything should be. But we have 18 games to go over for today's card. But first, quick recap of yesterday. It was a 4-4 day for me, down a quarter unit. So it was as meh can get. Hockey kicked my ass. Hockey was not fun last night. 0-3. I was really confident on the Nashville Predators yesterday, and it bit me when I think they got shut down in the third. Nashville -115. I beat a nice line movement with it too. Loser, and the team total over 3.5. I should have just played the full game over 6. That's frustrating there, but it happens. And then the Blues, that was such a bad beat with the Blues, +155 last night.
Yeah, I saw 5-0.
Yeah, Avalanche won 5-0 in that game there. That was just a plain wrong read. In the NBA, I had the Dallas Mavericks, which lost by 15 to the Detroit Pistons, but that was all the losing I was going to do in the NBA last night. 4-1 in the association. I know me and you were on opposite sides of this one game, Tim, but we both cashed. I had the Denver Nuggets team total over 121.5. So yeah, that was a winner there. I had the Pelicans +11.5. And I believed, after looking it up yesterday, after a loss this year, or after a win this year, the Boston Celtics are pure fade material. I believe they're now, let me find what the exact, they're now 6-26-1 ATS after a win this year.
That's crazy.
So they don't cover after wins. I may think about it very simple-mindedly, but the Celtics are really easy. You back them after a loss, you fade them after a win, and you move on. So that was a nice winner there with the Parleys. The Spurs +3 beat the shit out of the Bucks. That was fun. And then the Phoenix Suns to end the night against the Golden State Warriors win by 25 points. So NBA was really strong. NHL was not, and that's been the case this year, which has been very frustrating. Definitely having a better year in the NBA than the NHL, which shouldn't happen. That should not be a thing for me. Overall profitable day. Not a profitable day yesterday. Profitable in the NBA, not in the NHL. NHL killed my profitable day, but it is what it is. Basically a break-even day, down a quarter unit.
We were 1-3 on the site. The over in the Cornell game didn't get there. I like that spot in college basketball. That was kind of both teams have been heavy over trending teams, but did not quite get there. I had to sit and watch my Sabres win. I was really happy about. And then we lost a -130 on the site, which was annoying. Blues money line was a loser. One winner yesterday, Philadelphia 76ers. I took them +9.5. That was my only play yesterday, and I'm happy. I didn't need to go crazy with that game or that card in general. NBA has not been well. Has been a little bit of a struggle, so just getting a wind under my belt felt good. Ready to roll into today's card, and we'll see where it goes.
Yep. Head over to the chat, and then we'll get into today's card.
Tim bet against the Sabres on Rob Roy night. Yeah, that was Nick. I have no say over the site for hockey. Nick decided that he would bet Nashville on Rob Roy night, and the Sabres decided to fight him on it. So the Rob Roy way. I mean, anyways, I'm joking, Nick. But yeah, no. Not fun to see that last night, but I'm happy about the Sabres winning. But Nick, should we head into the NBA?
Yeah, let's get started here. Big line movement on this first game already. Line opened up 4.5 for Indiana. It's now an 8. So we've had a 3.5 point line movement, which I'm assuming is some type of injury. Line opened up 243. It's down to a 240. So move towards the under here as well. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this game here. Let me switch over to the first. There we go. And for this one, we have 69% of tickets, nice, and 77% of cash is on the Indiana Pacers. And this line has moved towards Indiana from the 4.5 to the 8 number. Line opened up, or 72% of tickets, 73% of cash on the over here as well. This line's dropped 3 points. So we've had big line moves on both sides here in this one. These two teams, they haven't played since last year, so that doesn't really matter. April 14th, 2024. The Pacers coming in off of back-to-back wins now. They beat the Spurs in Paris, and they followed it up with a win against the Detroit Pistons. On the flip side, we have the Atlanta Hawks, who have fallen apart as of late. 7 straight losses. And they've been more of an under team. They've just been struggling to score points. They put up 115 last game against Cleveland, but before that, 96, 92, and 94. So this has been a team that's been playing some unders as of late. That's my lean in this game if I'm betting anything. Trae Young is day-to-day. That's probably the reason for this line movement. That probably tells me Trae Young does not play. For that, Bogdanovich is looking like he's going to be out as well for personal reasons. So there are some, and then Clint Capella's out as well. So they've got some injuries, the Atlanta Hawks. So not a game I'm going to be messing with here, but it's under or nothing for me if I'm betting it.
Yeah, no, not anything. Not anything I need to go after. There's a couple of spots on this card that looks interesting. But keep in mind, with today, we have 20-something plays of college basketball on the site. So I'm not going to go crazy trying to find – I'm going to try to find a couple of spots in the NBA, but I'm not going to go crazy trying to bet every single game in the NBA. I know. Hey, and all of our plays for college basketball, you can go and find them. But we got a lot going today, including Mississippi Valley State. But as for this, for me, it's over or nothing. The Pacers have been more of an over team, and I feel like they could push the pace enough with the Hawks. And you look at the Hawks lately, why they've been going, although they did go way over last game. Look at the teams that they were playing that they went under with. Houston, under team. Minnesota, under team. Toronto, under team. Detroit, under team. Knicks, more of an under team. So you've got they're playing a bunch of teams that are more defensive lately. Now they go up against now this one seems like an over spot for me, but I'm not going to go and try to jump into that right now. So I'm going to start off the card with a pass.
Yeah, I feel like I would have taken this. Actually, it kind of opened up at 241. There was a 243, but 4 minutes later they had made the adjustment down 2 points. So depends on where you want to read into that there. But yeah, I mean, feels like an under spot because, yeah, you said Indiana's been a little bit more of an over team as of late. Last 10 games, they've gone under in 6 of them. And
they've gone over in 3 straight. That's what I was looking at.
Yeah. One of them would have stayed under this 240 number. But yeah, I get what you're going at there. But yeah, it's under or nothing for me. And this is an early start time. This is a 5 o'clock game. So not really.
There isn't any early ones. Tomorrow there's three games at 3, 3:30, and 3:30. So, but today the earliest is 5.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be an under. I want to see. I can get 240.5 if I'm interested in that. I don't know yet. I'll gotta figure that out.
There you go. No chat, so we'll keep on rolling, Nick.
Yeah, we have the Orlando Magic and the Utah Jazz. We have the Magic minus 5.5 to our total of 217.5. Line open up 4.5. It's now 5.5. So we do have a move towards the Orlando Magic. This line opened up at a 214.5. Now a 218. So wow, big move towards the over here as well. Taking a look at the cash flow in this one, 57% of tickets, 59% of cash is on the Magic. The line's moving towards them. And then we have 86% of tickets, 84% of cash on the over here as well. Usually, I know a lot of people like to think, oh, this Utah Jazz team, the only place you can really back them is at home. How about a 3-17 record at the Delta Center this year? They've not played well in Utah this year at all. They're 7-19 on the road. They've really not played well anywhere, but that's beyond the point. Granted, it's kind of a similar situation here for the Magic. They play way better at home, though. So kind of a tricky spot there. For me, I would only look towards the Magic. They're coming in off of a 29-point loss against the Portland Trailblazers of all teams. So they're coming in off of an embarrassing loss, back-to-back losses, and then they've actually lost 8 of their last 10 games. So this has been a struggling Orlando Magic team. On the flip side, this is a Utah Jazz team that's 1-9 straight up in their last 10 games. They've lost 8 in a row. I want to take a look to see if there's still a reasonable number. That's 5.5s with the Magic. I'm interested in the 5.5 with the Magic. It's minus 115 over on BetMGM. It's a lean for me at the moment, but it feels like Magic are no bet, right?
Yeah. I am grabbing it. Hold on. It's strictly they just lost by 29 points. So I'm grabbing them this game. And who better to bounce back against than the worst team in the Western Conference, who's sitting at 10-36. This is a Magic team this is a weird Magic team because they'll go and they'll win games that they probably shouldn't. And then they've been losing a bunch as of late. But it's been a weird Magic team that was really good for a while. They were sitting at 3rd and 4th in the East. They're now a game under 500, so they're probably still 4th or 5th or whatever. Okay. But no, it's a Magic team that's kind of dropped off as of late. Injuries have kind of killed them. But the injuries didn't seem to bother them to start the year. But I took the Magic here. I took a minus 5.5. When you lose by 29 points, you better come out strong in the next game.
Yeah. I pulled the trigger. Over on BetMGM, minus 115. Orlando Magic minus 5.5.
There you go. No chat, so keep on rolling.
Yeah, we have the Charlotte Hornets taking on the Denver Nuggets. 13.5 point road favorites are Denver in this game. Total 222. This line opened up at a 14.5. It's now down to a 13.5. So we do have a move towards these Hornets. Line opened up 220. It's now at 222.5. So we do have a move towards the over here as well. Let's take a look at the cash flow in the spot where we do have 53% tickets, 55% cash on the Nuggets. The line's moved to point towards Hornets. The Hornets kind of do grade out pretty well in this game. Looking at it a little bit there, 88% of tickets, 85% of the cash is on the over. We do have Denver coming in on a second half of a back-to-back. They were in Philadelphia last night. Now they're in Charlotte today. They have won 9 of the last 10 meetings against Charlotte, including, looks like 5 in a row in the Queen City there. Denver snapped their 3-game losing streak with a 3-point win against Philly. And this is the last game of a 5-game road trip for them. I think this is a terrible spot for the Denver Nuggets. On the flip side, we have the Hornets. They're coming in off of 3 straight losses. They're continuing a homestand, though. This is their 6th game of the homestand. They have at least another 3 games against Washington, Milwaukee, and San Antonio. I don't know after that because I would have to actually go into looking at their schedule. I think this is a spot where this is too many points on the road with the Denver Nuggets. They're coming in on a second half of a back-to-back, a 3rd game in 4 nights. Granted, it's the same situation for Charlotte, but there's been no travel involved for Charlotte. With Denver, they've gone from New York to Philly to Charlotte. So there's been travel involved with them as well. I think this is too many points. I'm going to grab the 13.5 with them in this one here. And I'm getting 13.5 minus 115 on ESPN Bet.
I'm able to get 14. This will now be 2 days in a row that I'm fading the Nuggets. And we've seen firsthand because we've been to a couple of Nuggets Hornets games live in Charlotte, which we're not going to today. But and they've all been close games. None of them have been blowouts, which is crazy to say because Charlotte's been so bad for a while. But this has just been two teams that just play close games with each other. So I'm taking the 14 points here. As you said, bad spot for the Nuggets on a second leg of a back-to-back. They had a TV game yesterday, so a primetime game yesterday against the 76ers. That game was close down to the wire, where the MVP, or should be MVP of the league, took over. And I think at this point, I'm going to grab 14 points with the Hornets.
I like it. We'll keep on going. We have the Sacramento Kings and the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Thunder 8.5-point favorites, total 236.5. Let's take a look at the line history in this game here. Line opened up 8.5. It's still an 8.5. Line opened up 232.5. It's now 236.5. So we do have a move towards the over here in this game. No line movement on the side. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this game. It's 57% of tickets, 61% of cash is on the Thunder, 89% of tickets, 92% of the cash is on the over in this game here. Taking a look at the matchup here, we have Sacramento. I'm trying to get up the matchup page here. There we go. We have Sacramento coming in off of a loss, their third loss in 4 games, all on the road. They have one more game on the road. They'll head to Minnesota to close out the road trip. On the flip side, Oklahoma City, they're coming in off of a loss, their last game against the Golden State Warriors. So maybe look for a little bit of a bounce back spot here for the Thunder in this game. If you're looking at a spot in this one, this was one that did not grade out particularly well for me. And I'm not going to force action on NBA as well as it, yeah. But for me, I guess it'd be Thunder or nothing to bounce back after the loss against the Warriors, but no play here.
Already on it. I took the Thunder today, minus 8.5. I say, hey, let's not go crazy in the NBA, and then I take 3 out of the 4 games. 3 out of 4 games so far. But I will be, trust me, I'm looking at the spreads. I will be slowing down on the next 3 games that are ugly. But this is a spot. The Thunder don't lose back-to-back games. I don't think they've lost back-to-back games all year, and I'm correct. After every single loss that they've had, they are winning those games the next day. Next game. Now, whether or not they're covering is a different story, but I feel like in this one, even though I am higher on Sacramento, I see this as a double-digit win at home for the Thunder. So give me OKC minus 8.5 in this one.
There you go. Yeah, I'm looking up some numbers for the Thunder here in this for this.
Supness. What's up, Lex? How you doing?
You know what the Thunder's record after a loss is this year?
9-0.
8-1. They're 4-4-1 ATS.
Wait, they've lost 2 games in a row? When?
That's what it says on team rankings. November 17th.
Oh,
and
yeah,
19th.
I see that now. I completely
and San
missed that one. Yep, I missed that one. Yep. My bad.
All right, we'll continue on. Here you go, Tim. I know this is a game you're dying to bet because we have the Washington Wizards and the Minnesota Timberwolves, and you get to lay 16 points with the Wolves in this game with a total of 221. Line opened up at a 16.5. It's down to a 15.5. Line opened up 223. It's now a 221.5. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this game, where I'm assuming money's coming in on the Timberwolves because money always comes in against the Wizards. Hey, 52% of tickets, 53% of the cash on the T-Wolves. The line has gone down half a point towards the Wizards. 91% of tickets, 91% of the cash is on the over here as well. I mean, if you want to lay 16 points with the Timberwolves, be my guest. I will not be. They have won 5 games in a row, and they've covered in 3 of 5. Generally, if I'm laying this type of number, I don't want a team off of a 25-point win. If I'm laying 16 points, I just don't want that. And when was the last time the Washington Wizards won a basketball game? That would be on New Year's Day. New
that's
Year's Day. They
Been a whole
beat the Chicago Bulls. Since then, they've lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 games. In the year of 2025, they're 1-16, and they won the first one. So, yeah, expert tank job here by the Washington Wizards. So I'm kind of thinking, forget the points. Just lay the minus 1,300 with the Timberwolves and move on. Sports betting is just that easy. So I'm joking, obviously. But yeah, no interest in this game from me whatsoever. If anything, it's Wizards or nothing, but I don't bet the Wizards.
Yeah, I'm done betting the Wizards. So, nope, 100% a pass. When there's as many games that are on the card, this is one that I looked at, crossed out, moved on. Same with the next two.
Yep.
Another day, another dollar, or lack thereof. There you go. Oh, what's up, guys? I've been sick with the flu. Long time no see. Hey, Juan, you're back. It's good to see you again. Finally back and ready to win some bets. Let's do it. Line loved 1 point to Wizards. Moved 1 point to Wizards. I watched them lose by 20.
Yep.
Probably. Let's keep rolling.
Hey, don't worry. We get a discount on this favorite compared to the last game. Only 15-point favorites now are the Houston Rockets against the Brooklyn Nets. Total of 212.5 in this game. Taking a look at the line history in this one here, where it's now a 14.5. It opened up at a 14.5, got up to a 15, back down to a 14.5. Line opened up to 16.5. It's down to a 212.5. So we would move towards the under here as well. We have 58% of tickets and 70% of the cash is on the Rockets. The line had gone from 14.5 up to 15, down to 14.5. 92% of tickets, 91% of cash is on the over in this one here. So this is another game where there's so many better spots on the card where I'm not going to go out of my way to lay points. This is Brooklyn or nothing. I mean, this is dog or pass if you want to take that, but at the end of the day, we all are well aware this is the National Blowout Association. So these big spreads, teams cover these big spreads. So I have no interest in this one whatsoever.
Good. I'm not either. No need to go after big spreads like this in the NBA. Should the Rockets win this game? Yes. Should they cover? Probably. Are we doing it? No. No interest.
Fair.
Lakers, Knicks over. Wow, the Knicks are 10.5-point favorites now. I guess I can lean towards an over, but I don't know. Timberwolves race to 55, both halves plus 130. That's one way to do it. I kind of like that. Clemson minus 4. Hey, anytime that NC State anytime NC State loses is a good day. I think we had slight value towards it. Let me just pull it up real quick. NC State. Nope. Right. Where did it go? I just had it right here. NC State. It was a slight lean towards Clemson. Like 0.24 points towards Clemson. So, not enough. Yeah, no, I looked. Not anything we need to look at or need to bet. 3 games left, Nick, and oof.
Yeah, ready? And hear me out on this one. This game can close out the sports betting. It's easy parlay of the day. Thunder money line, Timberwolves money line, Knicks money line, Rockets money line, Nuggets money line. It's plus 103.
Oh, jeez.
They're all 8 points or higher favorites on this card. Obviously, I'm being funny. Let's get into the actual game. The New York Knicks are 10.5-point favorites with a total of 224.5. Line opened up at a 9. It's now an 11. So we do have a move towards the New York Knicks. Line opened up 228.5. It's down to a 224.5. So we move towards the under here as well. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this one here. And wow, 62% of the tickets and 54% of the cash is on the Lakers. And the line's moving towards the Knicks. So the public on the Lakers and line moving towards the Knicks kind of tell me that probably New York is the play in this game. 95% of tickets, 93% of cash is on the over here as well in this one. I don't like to lay these type of points, but this is New York or nothing. The way this market's coming in, we have a little bit of a public dog here with the Los Angeles Lakers. I can get a 10.5 minus 110 over on Bet365. I'm going to pull the trigger on it here with the Knicks. Do I love laying this many points? No. Do I think the Knicks come out here and destroy them? Kind of. So for me, it is the Knicks at minus 10.5, minus 110.
You could have fun with it once again. Double-digit spreads are not my forte, not my specialty, not something I want to go and bet on. Should the Knicks win this game? Yes. Should they cover? Probably. My guess is that the Lakers are without a couple of players. LeBron James is day-to-day. There you go. So we'll see. Although, if they have no LeBron, that kind of pushes me a little bit more towards the Lakers, but not anything I need to get to at all. So I'm boring for the last three games that we just went over, but 2 unranked games probably only take 1 for Vandy. There's 3 of them that were system plays. It was Vandy, it was Oklahoma, and Baylor. There you go. Not Vandy, sorry. Oklahoma's against Vandy. It's Baylor, Oklahoma, and Northwestern. Baylor minus 3, but Kansas is. I was able to get Baylor money line at minus 120. Now it's up to like 150, 155. So I was happy with the line I got, but obviously you can't really get that now. I still think they win, but whether or not they cover that big number is another story.
Sure. We'll move on. We have the San Antonio Spurs and the Miami Heat. The Spurs 2-point favorites in this game, total of 223. I want to look at both the spread and the money line. This line opened up at a 2.5. It's now down to a 2. Line opened up 222.5 down to a 222. So we do have a half-point line movement towards the Heat, and we have a half-point line movement towards the under. And then this line opened up at San Antonio minus 118 on the money line, but that was last night at 2:30 a.m. It's now minus 130 when the spread opened up yesterday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. All right. We have 74% of tickets, 71% of the cash is on the spread for the Spurs, 59 and 58 on the money line. The spread has moved towards the Heat. 92% of tickets, 82% of the cash is on the over here as well. I'm interested in Miami in this game a little bit. With the way the market's moved a little bit towards them, with the money coming in on the Spurs. You have the Spurs coming in off that dominating win over the Milwaukee Bucks last night, where I should have just taken the money line. I had the +3. That was as easy as it gets, 144 to 118. Now it's the second half of a back-to-back. It's the third game in 4 nights for them. We have a little bit of a rested team for the Miami Heat. They last played on the 29th. I think the Heat are the play in this game. And I would like to move on Miami in this one.
I'm on the same page. I think we're going to end up correlating on all of our plays today, pretty much, which is cool. I don't mind that at all. Fading Spurs off blowout win. That's kind of just when, especially like the young teams, because I feel like that could definitely be a big ego inflator for them. So I'm definitely going to be jumping on the Heat. I got +115 on the money line.
Yep. I got +2.5, -110 over on ESPN Bet. I've had a couple times where the spread cashes and the money line would not have on these short spreads. So we'll see.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not going to bet a team to lose by 2 points or by a point. So,
yeah.
But Spurs lost by 20. Spurs revenge. You can see, what is there actually a revenge spot here? Did they play recently? They did play recently, and the Spurs lost by 21. But the Spurs coming off of a blowout win yesterday kind of puts me on the Heat here. Final game of the day, Nick, and I'll probably be happy with the 4 plays I have for the NBA today.
Phoenix Suns and the Portland Trailblazers. We have the Suns 4-point road favorites, total of 228. The line opened up at a 4, got down to a 3.5, got all the way down to a 2.5 1 point. Got out by, now we're back to a 4 though. Line opened up 230. It's now 228. So a 2-point line movement towards the under as well. We have 75% tickets, 79% of cash is on the Suns, and the line's gone down but had some buyback. And then we have 87% of tickets and 88% of the cash is on the over here as well. We have the Suns off of a very satisfying win in their last game. They played last night. I cashed with them against the Golden State Warriors. They won 130 to 105, which was a bounce back after losing by 8 to the Minnesota Timberwolves. They've won 4 of their last 5 games. On the flip side, the Portland Trailblazers, they're coming in playing some good basketball as of late. They're still 19 and 29 on the year, but they've won 2 in a row and 6 of their last 7 games. 3 of them on the road, and they've won 2 out of the last 3 at home. The only game they've lost in the last 7 was against Oklahoma City. No shame in that whatsoever. This is Portland or no bet for me. It's pretty simple there. And I'm actually interested to see what type of number I can get with Portland in this game. I've backed Portland a decent amount throughout this run that they've been on. And I think I would like to take them here. And I can get 4.5 minus 110 over on ESPN bet. I'm going to take Portland in this spot.
I'm going to stick with my 4 plays that I have in the NBA. Magic, Hornets, Thunder, Heat. I'm happy with that card because with all the college basketball, I think I got a good amount of action for today. So going to end up not betting this game, settling on the 4 that I like.
Sure.
What's up, Brio? Blazers been hot. They have been. They've been playing well as of late.
They've been blazing hot.
Ha 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 ha. All right, Nick.
Thank you.
Let's jump into the hockey world.
Yeah, we have the Florida Panthers as a slight favorite in this game, minus 390 favorites over the Chicago Blackhawks. Total 6 in this game. We've seen the Blackhawks kind of been a little bit of a scrappy team as of late. I cashed a ticket with them in their last game, even though they lost. They covered the plus 2.5 in that game against the Carolina Hurricanes. Should they be favorites? Yeah, my numbers have them around minus 240, minus 250 favorites in this game, plus 325 on the money line, though, for the Blackhawks. I mean, that's very intriguing. Very, very intriguing. And I have this game projected for, 6.707 goals. So I kind of would lean maybe towards a team total over for Chicago. They've been playing some overs, and I saw there's a really strong trend towards first period overs with this Chicago Blackhawks team as well, which is interesting there. I want to take a look. I want to see what the number is for what I got last time with them, and they're not offering it. Cool. I would have to go and shop around on the actual books themselves because I wanted to see what the 2.5 number was with them, because I got the 2.5 with them at minus 130 last game. And granted, I believe Carolina was a bigger favorite in that game than Florida is today, but I was leaning towards the plus 2.5 with the Blackhawks. Unfortunately, they're not giving me that option. So it'd ultimately be a stay off spot for me, but I would lean towards maybe a slight lean towards an over at the 5.5, 6 number. At 5.5, actually, the over seems very appealing. First period is over 1.5 minus 125. It's not bad either. I lean towards overs in this game if I'm betting anything. A Chicago team total over, first period over, full game over, something along those lines.
And it's Chicago or nothing. At that big of a number, I don't really. Because I know one of the other times that I decided to take like a big team total. Oh, it was when when I was looking at a team that was this big of a favorite. I took their team total over 4.5 or 5.5 or something for the Carolina Hurricanes against Columbus that hit that night. But it is Blackhawks or it's nothing. And it's nothing. I really have to like a play in order to take it in the NHL, especially on a Saturday. There's a couple of spots that look interesting, but for this one, nope.
Fair. What do you all think about the Blue Jays' new pitcher?
Which one? Scherzer?
Scherzer? Nice little depth piece.
A nice.
Tampa Bay -1. I've seen so many people try to fade the Islanders as of late. It's not really worked. But leaves team total over 2.5, leaning Boston and Florida -1 in early games. I've already played the New York Rangers in the next game. We'll talk about it. Kachuk goal. What do you guys take in the NBA? I had a few spots I took in the NBA.
It was Hornets, Heat, Thunder, and Magic. Hornets, Heat, Thunder, Magic.
Yeah, I was on Magic, Hornets, Heat, Knicks, and Blazers. Yes. Yeah, he'll be a good depth piece. I wouldn't be relying on him for heavy innings, but he's something. He can be a good mentor to the young players. Leafs team total over 2.5 is the best bet I got at -130. Wow. All right. I see you. We'll move on. The New York Rangers and the Boston Bruins. I did a free pick video for this game last night. Let's get into it. We have the Rangers now -115 favorites in this game, total 6. I am going to double down on this game, actually, because I said this last night. I was going to add the over in this game as well because the Rangers are coming off the shutout loss. So that is something there. And I also have this game projected for 6.78 goals. So I do have this game projected for an over as well. And I have the Rangers projected as around a -130, -135 favorite in this game. We have the Rangers coming in off of a bad loss in their last one. They lost 4-0 to the Carolina Hurricanes in their last game there. And they have played well, though, against this Boston Bruins team. They've won 4 in a row against Boston. But the Rangers are a team that they've lost back-to-back games against Carolina, Colorado, when the Islanders just beat Carolina and Colorado. So that was kind of interesting there. And on the flip side, we have the Boston Bruins. They're coming off of back-to-back losses, and they've been not good losses at all. Here's the thing, though. I don't think Boston's a good team. I don't. And they lost 6-2 to Winnipeg. They lost 7-2 to Buffalo. I was on both those overs in those games, and I've been riding Boston overs a little bit as of late because it's been a team that's been giving up goals. Their advanced metrics defensively suck, but offensively they're not bad. So, yeah, I got the Rangers last night at -105. And I'm going to also add the team total over in this game as well. Or not the team total over, the full game over as well in this game, which is a 6. I can get 5.5 -135. I'm going to take just the 6 at -110 and not pay the extra juice for it. But yeah, over 6 as well, -110, Rangers and Bruins.
I mean, it's got to be a bounce back spot for the Bruins, all right, Nick?
For the Bruins?
Yeah, I mean, they've lost 7-2 and 6-2. No. Last game would have been the bounce back spot for the Bruins, and they didn't get there. I feel like it's Rangers puck line or nothing. I feel like that would be an intriguing play is the puck line on the Rangers. Not enough for me to want to go after it, but it definitely could be a little bit of a interesting spot. But I feel no reason to go after it. It would be a lean that way? No, thank you.
Yeah, also, one thing I forgot to mention for this game is the New York Rangers did make a trade last night, which does worry me a little bit because I remember I did pretty well last weekend when the Rantanen Natchez trade went through and fading both Carolina and in Colorado was pretty strong. I'm not doing that this one here, just because I think I already placed it before the bet or before the trade came in. It looks like it looks like JT Miller will be on the second line, centering the second line with Riley Smith and Chris Kreider. Vincent Trocheck is still on the top line with Lafreniere and Panarin. Let's see, did they get any? It looks like nobody else from that trade is part of the starting lineup. But yeah, kind of interesting because they gave up Philip Hedl in that trade, which I thought that was, and then a prospect and a first-round pick. I thought that was a little much to give up for JT Miller if you're the New York Rangers. Somebody who's making as much money as he is, you're giving up on a young guy. Like if the Islanders made a very similar trade, they'd be getting roasted for this right now. But the Rangers made it, so it's a perfectly okay trade. And here's the thing, and the Bruins were someone who took advantage of it last week against the Avalanche of the trade, and they beat the Avalanche that first game. I mean, when going down the center, you have Pavel Zacha on the top line with Elias Lindholm on the second line, Poitras on the third line, and Beecher on the fourth line. This Bruins team has no depth. This is not the same Bruins team that we've seen the last few years. They're not good. And I do think they missed the playoffs this year. I do think they'll continue to struggle, and I think this is a game where the Rangers take care of business.
There you go. Yeah, I'm not messing. It's Rangers puck line or nothing. But
yeah, Rangers money line, Bruins. All right, a little contradictory there. Is Miller playing today for the Rangers? I believe so. DJ Mika Zibanejad goal. All right. Rangers goal and the Rangers money line in the over 6. Yep, I 100% agree with that. I'm on both. Miller is playing. Yeah, Holy Cross -1 line check.
Okay, hold on. Holy Cross. We have that at a -0.89. So yeah, no, that line is perfect the way it is.
Yeah, so Panthers raised to 6. Jesus. Yeah. Canucks got fleeced. No. The Rangers did. The Canucks dumped JT Miller's salary. They got Philip Hedl, a good young talent. They got a first-round pick, and they get a young defenseman. I think that the Rangers gave up too much in that trade. I think they did. Revenge spot and Mrazek. Are you serious, bro? Yeah, I'm just not laying -400 on a hockey team ever. So, Panthers first period puck line. Good luck. I'm good. We'll move on. The Minnesota Wild taking on the Ottawa Senators. -145 for the Sens in this game. Total 5.5. And this one, let's take a look at my projections for this one here, where I do have Ottawa as a favorite, more along the lines of 125, though, rather than a 145. Does that mean I want to back the Wild, though? Not particularly. I think this line's about right for that. And on the flip side here for the total, I have this game projected for 5.7 goals. So I think this line's about right with the 5.5 as well. This has been a strong under team if you're the Ottawa Senators. It was funny. We were going into that last game, and I believe it was 10 straight unders for the Capitals. It was 9 of 10 unders for the Ottawa Senators in that in their previous 10 games, and that game finished 5-4. So that was kind of interesting there. Ottawa 3-game winning streak. They're third in the Atlantic right now. Don't look now. The Ottawa Senators are playing playoff hockey, and they're making a stride. And the Minnesota Wild have been taking care of business on the road. They won 4-2 against Chicago, found out they're going to be missing Kaprizov for the next 4 to 6 weeks, and they followed it up with back-to-back wins on back-to-back nights against Toronto and Montreal, including a 4-0 shutout over the Montreal Canadiens. Now, Minnesota, they'll be playing Boston before they head home to play Carolina, and then the Islanders before the Four Nations break. And that's something you got to keep in mind as well, as some of these teams may be looking forward to that 2 weeks off for the Four Nations. But for me in this spot, I can only look Wild, I guess, at this number, but not enough of value for me to go ahead and pull the trigger.
Do you by chance have a way to find out what is the Minnesota Wild's record without Kaprizov?
I can look it up.
Because I feel like they're better without him. I know that sounds crazy, but I feel like they win more without him. And I would even say that like he's been a little bit more and I know if Terry heard this, he would kill me, overrated. Because or overvalued, because they seem to still win without him in the lineup. It is Wild or nothing. Wild in regulation, you can get probably at a decent price, but not really. I think I'm going to end up grabbing the Ranger puck line, but I'm not sure if I'm going after this game.
Kirill Kaprizov has missed 15 games this year. The Wild have a 9-5-1 record with him.
Yeah, they're fine without him. That's it. 19 points in that, and what was it? In 15 games without him.
In 15
averaging
games.
over a point a game without him.
They're an over 500 point percentage team without him. Yes.
Crazy.
Don't get me wrong. They're a better team with him in the lineup, but they can still figure out ways to win without him. Wild money line, Tennessee revenge spot against Florida. Indiana State plus 8.5 and New Mexico State money line.
Be careful on Indiana State. That line's jumped from a 7 to an 8.5. So you'd be getting the better line right now, but that doesn't always normally work out well. And then New Mexico State against Western Kentucky. We have value on Western Kentucky. Not a play, but it's 2.33 points of value on Western Kentucky for us.
Yeah. Kaprizov is not overrated. He was a 5th-round pick.
I don't really feel like that has any correlation. I know that a lot of people had him like towards the top of their MVP race until he got hurt.
I mean, he has been that good this year where he deserves to be that high.
Oh, for sure. I wasn't saying he doesn't, but it's just I feel like he's slightly overvalued. People put too much into him, just a little bit, but nothing crazy. Okay,
fair enough. Yeah, he's not like missing a stud like Ovi. Yeah, and it's crazy to think when you look at these different players. I feel like we were truly robbed of a team that would probably win the Four Nations face-off if they included Russia.
Mm-hmm.
Like, can you imagine a team with Kaprizov, Ovechkin, Kucherov, Svechnikov? I mean, the goaltending with Sorokin, Shesterkin, Vasilevsky. Like, that team would be dirty. Jokic wasn't drafted in the first round, but he sucks. He does.
Yeah. He was drafted in the second round during a Taco Bell commercial.
Yeah. See how that logic sounds? Yeah. Hey, we were just saying that the Wild still can win games without him. Is kind of where I think Tim was getting at. We'll move on. We have 6 games remaining on the card: the Edmonton Oilers and the Toronto Maple Leafs. We have the Oilers minus 155 favorites, total 6.5 in this game. Let me get up the line or my projections for this one here, where I have the Oilers projected as a favorite. Yeah, no duh. Are actually not no duh, but yeah, minus 155, kind of no duh. And it was projected around a minus 160, minus 165 favorite for the Edmonton Oilers. So I do lean a little bit Edmonton in this game, and I have this game projected for 6.6 goals. So I think this 6.5 is correct, and you rarely see 6.5s anymore. That's something kind of interesting to see. There is a 6.5 because you don't really see that too much anymore. A lot of 5.5s as of late. I think this will be a fun matchup to watch if you're a pure hockey fan. This is, McDavid and Draisaitl versus Matthews and Marner and Nylander, and yeah, it's a fun matchup there. We have the Oilers coming in off of a shootout loss, which snapped a 3-game winning streak for them against Seattle, Buffalo, and Vancouver before they lost in a shootout to the Red Wings. I was staring at the Red Wings that game. 3 straight losses for Toronto, though. They've kind of lost a few now. They're still second in the Atlantic. They really have nothing to worry about, but kind of interesting there. They've lost to Columbus Ottawa, and Minnesota. So they've kind of been struggling a little bit as of late. I would only look at Edmonton in this game on the -1 line. I think the Oilers take care of business in this game. I just think this line's a little bit too much for me to want to go ahead and bet it. So I think I believe the Oilers take care of business. I also believe that they're too expensive.
You got Edmonton coming off a shootout loss previous to that. They won 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Toronto. The thing, I'm still high on Toronto. I know they've lost 3 straight, but it was against Columbus. That's been kind of like a scrappy team. Ottawa, who's in a playoff spot, and Minnesota, who's in a playoff spot. So I don't really see them as bad losses, although Minnesota you should be able to beat at home. But is it I feel like if I'm going after anything in this game, it's Edmonton puck line. Toronto kind of struggling. I think they'll eventually turn it around. They're too good of a team not to kind of turn it around. But I would lean Edmonton in this game. Ultimately, Nick, I think I'm gonna grabbing 2 plays today. Because I'm gonna head out after this game. But I'm gonna be taking the Rangers on the puck line plus 210, and then I will be grabbing Washington on the puck line plus 235. But that's it for me. I got to head out to work. It was nice being able to be on a Saturday show. With inventory and stuff, I was able to start at 12:30 today at work instead of 10:30. But I'll be back on Monday. Good luck to everybody today. Big day for college basketball, so let's make some money.
Yeah, sounds good. We'll continue on. We'll head back to the chat, and then we'll get into the next game here, where we have, there we go. Let's see. Yo, Joe Kryptonite in the house. Wow, it's been a minute since we've seen your name. What's good, man? What's good? How many 5th-round draft picks get over 100 points in a season? That's so stupid. We're just stating the facts. 9-5-1 without Kaprizov this year. We're just stating statistics. That's all we were doing. That's all. Over 6.5. Edmonton, yeah, we kind of lean that direction. Toronto scored 3 goals in 3 games. They're gonna score tonight. Yeah. Plus, it's not even the postseason yet, so it's not time for the Maple Leafs to struggle. So yeah. Not many why it was stupid logic if you said that it wouldn't have made. Yeah, I'm not, and I did not say he was a bad player. I just remember, I was just saying how the Wild have learned to win without him. Yeah. Do you guys lean Minnesota to cover in what? The Timberwolves, the Golden Gophers, the Wild? Leafs road games. I would lean Minnesota Wild to cover if that's the team you're talking about. But I mean, I don't lay that type of numbers on plus 1.5 puck lines. Leafs road games are higher scoring. Are goalies getting better or defense getting better? I don't know. And the crazy thing is, I've seen save percentages go down this year. So I don't know. That's confusing. I've seen save percentages be generally lower this year. Maybe it's just less shots on goal. Who knows? But yeah, I remember when we would see 7 sometimes. Yeah, I remember betting an under 7.5 one game. So yeah, that happens. Past this game, Hyman goal. I can see that. Morning. What's good, Markel? We'll move on. The New York Islanders taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning, the red hot New York Islanders. And I never put in a number for this game here for the money line for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Minus 165. Minus 165 for Tampa Bay. There we go. Minus 165, total 6 in this game. We have, let me get up my projections for this game here, where I have this game projected for, there we go, 6.07 goals in this one. And I have the Lightning projected around the 155-160 range in this game. The Islanders have been playing really well as of late. Their advanced metrics, not the greatest in those games. So, but they're doing that by playing good, sound defense. And on the flip side, the Lightning have been producing a lot of expected goals, and they're giving up an okay amount of them. So this is a Lightning team that's been projected to be playing some high-scoring games. This is an Islanders team that's been playing some solid team defense. They just picked up Boquist yesterday to replace Isaiah George. So kind of interesting to see what Lou Lamoriello is doing with this blue line. For me in this game, I really don't have too much of an interest betting-wise. Obviously, I'll watch it because the Islanders have actually been fun to watch as of late. During the month of January, I believe they had the number 1 penalty kill in hockey, which was awesome to see. Now, they do play a back-to-back, and the ultimate question is, where does Sorokin get in? And then I would not be surprised if Sarek gets the other game. Hogberg is out, and Varlamov is out indefinitely. So I wonder who starts what game, and I think that'll really tell something there. The game Sorokin starts is the game they're going to try, and then the game that Sarek starts is the game they're going to kind of punt. I would start Sarek tomorrow against Florida. This game I think means more because you're chasing Tampa Bay in the standings, so there is that as well. But yeah, for me, no interest in this game betting wise. I think the line's about correct in this one. Over 5.5. No, I'm not on the Leafs. I'm not on the Leafs. No. Tampa puck line. I don't know about that, but okay. Braden point over 1.5 goals. I would lean under in the game, so I would probably say no to player props on that one there. But hey, we'll move on. The Washington Capitals and the Winnipeg Jets. We have the Capitals minus 110 favorites in this game with a total of 5.5. My projections have this game Washington minus 110 and at 5.6 goals. I think this line's correct for this game, and I wanted to back Winnipeg in this game. I want to still find ways to fade the Washington Capitals because I do not think they're as good as their record indicates. I truly don't. And have I been getting roasted about that? Yeah, of course, because they continue to win, even though it makes no sense. Now their advanced metrics have been better as of late, so they have been playing better as of late when it comes to their expected goals numbers and their advanced metrics. However, this is just a spot where I don't think they're getting overpriced at the moment. I think this line's correct. So overall, no play here for me in this game. It would be a lean towards the Jets for me, but not getting involved with this one. Move on. 3 games remaining. We have the Nashville Predators taking on the Pittsburgh Penguins. We have the Preds minus 115 road favorites, total 6.5 in this game. Let's take a look at my projections for this one here, where I do have the Preds projected as a favorite in this game. I have them around the minus 130 price tag in this one. And yes, I got burned with the Nashville Predators last night when they were in Buffalo. But at minus 115, minus 118 range, I'm tempted to go back to them here in this one. And I have this game projected for 6.58 goals, so I think that 6.5 number is correct. Nashville has now lost 3 in a row against Anaheim, Vancouver, and Buffalo. On the flip side, I don't think this is a good spot for the Pittsburgh Penguins. They're returning off of a long road trip. They were on a 7-game road trip that ran them through Buffalo, Washington, LA, Anaheim, Seattle, San Jose, and Utah. I think this is a bad spot for them. As much as I don't like the spot for the Nashville Predators, where they are playing a 3rd game in 4 nights, and I think ultimately probably these two should just offset each other, and I pass. But it's Nashville or nothing for me in this game. I've got plenty of action in college basketball and things along those lines, so it's not like I'm starving for action here today. But it would be Nashville or no bet if I'm doing anything in this game. But I think I'm going to hold off for right now. Yeah. Jets money line. They only have 11 losses in the regular season. I don't think we can say they are overrated anymore. They're just proving us wrong all season. Yeah, and I think the ultimate time it'll probably catch up to them is in the playoffs. But yeah, Pierre-Luc Dubois goal, Penn's money line, and Brian Russ goal. All right. Pass lean Preds. Yeah, I would only look towards the Preds in that game as well. Carolina Hurricanes and the LA Kings. The Kings minus 170, total of 5.5 in this game. Taking a look at my projections for this one here, I have this game around a minus 190 for Carolina, and I have this game projected at 6. So I have a slight lean towards an over in this game and a slight lean towards Carolina in this one here as well. I kind of wish Carolina, in order to back Carolina here, I was kind of hoping they were coming in off of kind of a loss in their last game. These two teams just played each other in Raleigh. Nope, they didn't. That was last year on January 15th. So it's been over a year since these two teams have played. Carolina coming in on 2 straight wins, and 6 of their last 7. Their only loss was against the New York Islanders. On the flip side, the Kings, this is the last game of a 5-game road trip for them where they're trying to avoid being swept through the road trip here on the road. They've lost against Columbus, Detroit, Florida, and Tampa Bay. I think they're just ready to get home at this point. I think there's probably a little bit of value here at Carolina on the -1 line if you're looking to back anything in this game. This line's moved a decent amount, but it's -165 plus 158 on Bovada. I'm kind of interested in the Hurricanes on the -1 line here, -103. I'm going to move on that here. I don't back the Canes very often, but I think this is one of those spots where there's a little bit of value on the line here in this game. But more than anything, this is I think a spot where the Kings, yeah, they may be looking not to get swept through the road trip, but I think this is a bad spot to try to avoid getting swept through the road trip there. So Carolina -1, -103 for me in this one here. I'll take a shot with Carolina on the -1 line. Let's see. Yeah, playoffs. That was exactly what I was thinking. Yep. Nuggets versus Hornets versus Nuggets. What was your pick? I just joined. I took plus 13.5. What was it, the number in that game? I got with Charlotte plus 13.5. Canes 3-way money line. Yeah. System play. Oh, shit. Yeah. I'm going to add the over 5.5 in this game as well. System play. Yep, I totally blanked on that one. Not just getting shut out. They've been shut out back-to-back games, these LA Kings. So, yeah, I'll add the over in this game as well, which is 5.5, a decent number, -105 over on Bet365. Yeah, I'm going to add that as well for this game. So, yeah, over 5.5, -105. I totally blanked on that one. Yep. Ranted in goal. You can see that. I've been just betting whatever days my intuition calls to me and then pick the games that look to have the biggest edge. So far, it's been treating me very, very well. There you go. Kings haven't scored the last 2 games. Yeah, I'll take the over. Jarvis goal plus 200 it's his birthday. There you go. Over 5.5. Stamkos goal. Yeah. Tomasino plus 500. That's a nice little bit of a bomb. Yeah. Yeah, I'm taking the Hornets too. I think that it's the safest play on the basketball card. Fair. We'll move on. Final game of the card, the Calgary Flames and the Detroit Red Wings. -120 for the Flames. Total 5.5 in this game here. Taking a look at my projections for this one. I have the Flames as a pretty decent sized favorite around the -155 range in this game. And I have this game projected for 6.43 goals. This might be another double up spot here for me with the Flames and the over. In this one, we have Calgary. They are a better home team than they are a road team. And just it looks like their advanced metrics are pretty strong right now. 3.10 expected goals for, 2.59 against. They've been playing actually pretty well as of late. Detroit has won 5 in a row against Calgary, but we have Calgary coming in off of a 4-1 win against Anaheim. They lost their previous 2 games against Winnipeg and Washington. But overall, this has been a team that's 6-4 in their last 10 games. On the flip side, we have Detroit coming in on 4 straight wins. And now they're continuing their road trip. They won in a shootout against Edmonton. Now they go to Calgary. They'll go to Vancouver and Seattle after this. I think this is a double up spot for me here on Calgary and the over in this game here. Both project out pretty well in this game. So I'm getting -110 over on Bovada for the Calgary Flames and the over 5.5, -115 over on Fanatics. So I'm going to move on both of those there in this game as well. So Flames and the over for me in this game. What's the record on the Flames home and away? Flames on the road are 9-11-4. At home, they're 16-7-3. Yeah, Flames money line, Red Wings money line, Larkin goal, and the over 5.5. There you go. But that is the full card for today. If you guys have not already, be sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. Turn on those post notifications so you guys are notified each and every time we are live here at Earle Sports Bets, which is every single morning, anywhere between 10 and 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But that's going to wrap it up for this one. I want to thank you guys as always for watching. Oh, two more things there. Only betting NHL today, nothing else. There you go. Slowly getting back into it. Fair. But that's going to do it for this one. I want to thank you guys as always for watching, and we'll catch you guys same time, same place tomorrow for another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. Good luck, everyone.